What's up, guys? Hey, how are we doing? So, the destinations, do we need a format change? There was a suggestion, and I kind of liked it. Kaiden Wolf claiming he's the fastest 250 rider in the world? There's a guy named Deegan out there. Let me compare them, and I'll let you know what I think. Ponca City, the historic amateur national, was held last weekend, but it was marred by a horrible incident that could have been avoided. Gosh, it was really sad. I'll get into that and much more. If you haven't checked out Nano-Extreme and you have pain, please go to this website, get some of this cream and rub it on. My shoulder hasn't felt this good in years. I really thought I was gonna have to have shoulder replacement surgery. So I started using this stuff. After about a week, my shoulder feels really good. This stuff works so good that, when you're on your feet for a really long time and they hurt, I started putting it on in the morning, and then, I put my shoes on and you get that little icy hot feeling. And then as your feet sweat, it gets even better. Man, my feet feel great. You gotta try this stuff, but make sure you use the code COOKSY at checkout. If you put 2 in your cart and use the code COOKSY, you'll only get charged for 1. If you put 1 in your cart, it won't let you use the code. So head over to Nano-Extreme, use code COOKSY for your free bottle. And while you're buying stuff, head over to the Coach Rob store. He's got a digital sweat rate analyzer that you use like an app on your phone. So you figure out how much you sweat. So they take that information and then they create an energy fuel specifically designed to rehydrate you depending on your sweat rate. Coach Rob, using science to make you a better athlete. Hit up the CoachRobStore.com. And don't forget, all of you guys who've signed up for the memberships, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And I will be giving you guys a custom painted CRS helmet from Coach Rob. And what we're gonna do is we'll draw, everyone who's a member is automatically entered in January, or right before Anaheim, we're gonna draw, and then I'll hit you up, find out what size 6D helmet you wear, then we'll have it custom painted and shipped out to you. So without further ado, let's get into this, guys.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So I'm still buzzing from that Destinations. I loved that race. It was so fun. And like I said, the reason for me that it's so fun is that I feel like they're riding for me. They're riding for the country. And that's how everyone in Australia feels, in England. People are literally representing you on the track, and it feels pretty damn good. The one thing I don't like is how these riders are kind of guilted into having to go, and and then they have this weird format where they do 2 450s and a 250. And then I'm in the minority on this, but I want this event every 2 to 3 to 4 years. I don't want it every single year. I want it to build some anticipation, but clearly I'm in the minority. A lot of you guys have let me know I'm dead wrong on that. I still think that, but there's got to be another solution to let these guys rest up and build the anticipation and make this event count. I personally feel like it's losing a little bit of its luster. Maybe like I said, maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but that's how I feel. Right now, nobody's been able to make a case yet as to why they should have it every single year, other than that's the way they used to do it. That's the dumbest reason to ever do anything, is because that's the way we've always done it. Talk about an archaic idea. But James Joseph, 8069, came up with a brilliant idea. This idea made me more excited than a lot of the stuff that I've heard. So what he wants to do is have a 250, a 450, and then your open guy has to be on a 2-stroke. Love this idea. How awesome would that be? A 2-stroke, a 450, and a 250. That would be one of the best events ever. The problem is I started thinking about, well, how could we actually make this happen? The thing is, Honda doesn't have a 2-stroke, Kawasaki doesn't have a 2-stroke, Suzuki doesn't have Suzuki shouldn't count because they barely have a 4-stroke, and Yamaha has one, but it kind of sucks. So it really wouldn't, your third guy would pretty much have to be on a gas, a Husky, a KTM, or one of the off brands like a Beta or TM or something. I don't see very many guys that are willing to qualify for the destinations and represent their country that ride for those brands. So it's a real weird thing, and I don't know how we would go about that. I had someone else suggest if there were 2-stroke championships in every country and you take the champion in that country and put them on that team. Could you imagine Carson Brown being our 2-stroke guy? That'd be kind of cool. But the whole 2-stroke versus 4-stroke thing, gosh, they screwed the pooch on that one. Because one thing about racers is we will never choose the slower option when we're buying a bike. Yes, the 2-stroke smells good, sounds good. It's easier to maintain. If it has a complete malfunction, we can rebuild them ourselves. 4-strokes, once that thing blows up, you might as well just throw it in the trash because it is so much money and so much to rebuild these things. They are very complicated, but they're also a hell of a lot easier to ride, and a lot of people can go faster on a 4-stroke than they can a 2-stroke. So good luck putting the toothpaste back in on that one. I would like to see it happen because the whole reason they went to 4-strokes was a bullcrap reason because California didn't like exhaust. Well, yeah, come on. Seriously, we shouldn't do anything because California says they should. That was a horrible decision back then. I stand by it. I just don't know how we get back. And now they're going to go to electric. I don't know, man. I hope they take their time when they do switch to electric. I think there is a market for electric, but I think it's a separate market from gas. I think if you want to make an electric series, you make an electric only series, and you don't have it at the same places. Have it at venues where you can go and you don't have sound as an issue. Have it on downtown streets. There's got to be a different way to build an electric series so it doesn't directly compete with the gas series, because I don't want to see the gas series go away. The one thing I am looking forward to with electric bikes is riding areas. Anybody with land and water to keep the dust down can have their own track. That is one of the biggest issues, is sound. When you ride a dirt bike, you piss off your neighbors. You ride an electric bike, nobody even knows you're riding back there. So that is the one good thing I really like, is there would be a lot more riding areas. When I was a kid, we would grab our bikes and go across the pit. That was kind of what we did. And eventually houses moved in and we couldn't ride there anymore. And that's happened over and over throughout time. Electric bikes kind of solve that problem. If there's land, if there's area, you can ride them. Now to Kaiden Wolf. Kaiden Wolf, I love what he did there. He kind of took a page out of Deegan's book, and he went really cocky with his post-race interview, saying he's the fastest 250 rider in the world. I hate to break it to you, Kai. You won, but you weren't even the fastest one on the day. Lucas Kunin was kicking your ass until he went down. So yeah, maybe taper that back just a touch. With that said, I love when guys give us their authentic opinion. If he really believes he's the best 250 rider in the world, which I think he does, say it. Don't worry about knuckleheads like me ripping him apart, because I do think it's stupid to think that he's the fastest 250 rider in the world. He races a series where they kick guys out when they're 23. The guy that won his championship 2 times, Tom Vial, is over here in the United States getting mollywopped by Haiden Deegan. So how is he the fastest 250 guy? Yeah, not going to happen. Kaiden Wolf, you're pretty damn good, but if you really want to find out how good you are, come over and race guys. Race grown men, stop racing just kids that are under 23. And supposedly he is coming over here. He wants to test out Supercross. And I think this is a thing where if he can ride good at Supercross, one of the American teams will take a shot at him. Because these European guys, they're good, and some of them transition, some don't. If he can ride Supercross, he's worth the risk, because you get him outdoors. We know he rides good outdoors, so he'll be instantly a top 5 threat, but he's not Deegan. Like, Deegan is just a different animal. That's just a bad comparison. And to say you're the fastest in the world, those words will come up to bite him in the ass, because he's not even close. And I look at Kaiden Wolf. He's a big dude, man. He reminds me more of like a Garrett Marchbanks on that 250. He's not little. So you go against a guy like Haiden with the power to weight ratio, sorry, bro, it ain't happening. Hayden's kicking your ass. I hope his Supercross test goes well. So well, I want to see him show up at A1. Just go out there, even if you're going to do kind of like Prado did. Nobody will, roast him if he gets 10th place at Anaheim. Just go out, give it a go, see how you feel, and then go back to Europe, defend your championship, go 450, whatever you're going to do. But test the waters, jump in the 250 class, race Anaheim, race a couple of rounds, do 3 rounds. As long as you're not death on a Supercross track, I think you should come over and race. Check out Epic Garage Designs. Travis Ogburn is the owner and creator of Epic Garage Designs. He has the coolest flooring, cabinets, slat wall, and don't limit this to your garage. You can put this slat wall anywhere. You can put it inside your house. You can put it inside your trailer. Just anywhere you want to get organized. EpicGarageDesigns.com. Hey, and if you're feeling patriotic after the Des Nations, head over to Ride Strapped and get your patriotic goggles. Ride Strapped is a company that believes in American and the American way. So hit up Ride Strapped, get your goggles, and they're really high quality goggles. They're little newsflash, they're the same as a lot of the other brands out there. If you check, lenses and tear-offs are mostly compatible. Ridestrap.com. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Precision Transport is a family-owned shipping company. The Madden family, they're just good people. They truly believe in customer service, reasonable pricing, and getting your stuff there when it's supposed to be. So hit up pretransport.com if you're shipping anything. So we had Ponca City this last weekend, and I loved Ponca City as a kid. I went there and raced in '89. The track was fun. It was a really good dirt. It was a great event. I got smoked, but I loved racing there. I did better at Loretta's, but Ponca might have had a more fun track to ride. And it was crazy how that event was the premier amateur event for the longest time. And the story I got was the Coombs family got thrown out for being rednecks. And on the way home, they stopped at Loretta Lynn's, and then now we've got Loretta Lynn's and Ponca. But the year I went was awesome because you had Ponca City, and then a week later you had Loretta Lynn's. So all of us West Coasters, it would be like a 2-week trip. We'd go race Ponca and then drive the next day, and we'd be at Loretta's, and we'd do Loretta's for a week. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad to see that race. It died off for a while. I'm glad to see it come back. I do wish they would ease up on the pricing. Some of the families were telling me how much it costs just to park their motorhome. It's insanity. I don't know how anyone on a reasonable budget could ever afford to race. We've got to do something about this. If I was a kid and I wanted to become a pro and it didn't have a lot of money, I would skip the big amateur nationals and I would race stuff like the GT Arena Cross Series and stuff like that to kind of get those gate drops, get your skills up, and see where see if you can take the Weston Pike route where you get better later on. Because to just do it right out of the gate like that, you have to be rich from the start. The amount of money these families spend blows me away. There was a horrible incident at the track. There was a girl who's a volunteer flagger. Yes, she gets paid, but she's not a traditional flagger. She has a regular job at a convenience store. She was hit by a motorcycle. She was in the flag stand and the bike hit her in the head. She is I was told she's in a coma. If anyone has any more updated information, please let me know. If there's a GoFundMe where we can send people to donate for her, please let me know. This is a good community that does not like to see stuff like this, and we want to be there for people when it does happen. But hearing about a flagger getting hit on the track is something we should never have to hear anymore. In this day and age, I was at Budds Creek. They have lights. There's lights that you can put on the track. You do not have to stand a human being that close to the track anymore. This is not 1980. We have the technology to do this. Why the AMA doesn't come up with a set of lights and then sell them to the tracks? The AMA, that's their job, is to find this stuff and make sure motorcyclists are safe. They're not doing it. Honestly, they could probably turn a profit if they found a setup that worked really good, package them up, sell them to AMA tracks that use their insurance. Please do something and get people off the track. I mean, look at car racing. They used to have that flag stand really close. Well, guess what? It was dangerous. So they moved the flag stand way up. Now they use lights all the way around super speedways and oval tracks. They don't use human flaggers anymore because it's dangerous. Dirt bikes, in particular, 4-strokes go so much faster than 2-strokes did back in the 90s and early 2000s. If you go back and watch one of those races on YouTube, you'll see the speed difference. It's dangerous. Bikes fly way further off the track than they used to. That flag stand that was built was probably built with the idea that, yeah, these are smaller bikes. They don't go that fast. It's not that big a deal. That is not the case anymore. We almost need runoff areas behind sections because we're hitting road race speeds from the 70s. That's how fast we're going on the dirt. It's dangerous. There's no way to make the sport safe, but we can eliminate stupid. We should never have to see a flagger get hit by a bike ever again. And if you do have to have a flagger out on the track, make sure they're protected with hay bales or something to really defend the flagger. Make them wear helmets. There's things you can do. NASCAR, everybody, all the pit crew, they wear helmets. That's something you should have to have on your flaggers. Might be uncomfortable, but it prevents this catastrophic situation from happening. If you're going to charge that much for people to park their motorhomes, make sure your flaggers and staff are at least safe. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you to all the members. I appreciate everything. And like I said, if somebody has that link for the girl that was hit, please let me know and I'll post that out. Here's the member of the day.